Konnichiwa, minaboku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Still going on with the voice thing. Whether this is allergies or cold, I don't know. I give up now. It's kind of just one of those things. But we rum-dee-dum-dum-dum, we will rave. My second favorite in the contest is still in. I'm very excited. I got to watch semifinal 2 live today on YouTube. And let's talk about it. And I think that there were more shock qualifiers versus non-qualifiers in this one than the other one, honestly. A lot of people that I had been watching the reviews and stuff from were thinking that between Cyprus and Malta, Malta was the stronger song and was going to make it through. Both being in 2 separate semifinals, I guess it's not dependent on them being against each other, but it's against who else they're up against. And semifinal 2 is a little bit of a mess in terms of some of the performances and stuff, but it was still really, really fun to watch. I love that we had Sertab, Charlotte, and there's another one. The 3 ladies coming back and singing their songs. It's just nice having past Eurovision winners come back. And Pietra and the other lady, I always forget her name, the other host, who are doing a fantastic job, by the way, singing and stuff. I mean, Pietra did that song with Mons in 2016, which is still one of the best non-Eurovision songs out there. But I love that they were doing all these odes and stuff and little in-jokes and things like that. And then the lead-in to Karia performing, like that stuff around the contest was pretty fun to watch. And very, very well done. But it's nice having just 2 hosts. It makes things a little more clean, I think. And they were doing a very, very good job. So Malta went first. Really, really, really tight performance. I am a little shocked that Malta didn't go through in comparison to some of the others because I thought it was pretty polished. I really did. Following that was Albania. Her vocals were a little bit off. So I kind of, at one point when I heard that happening, I'm like, well, this one's not going to qualify. It was kind of not really on people's cards to qualify this year either, which is very unfortunate. Perhaps if they would have sent the original version, it might have had a bit of a better chance, but if it was vocally similar, which I can't quite recall 100%, if that was the problem, the vocals, then yeah, I can see why. Greece was a shock qualifier for me. Now, I know I did put it through as a qualifier on my original list that I thought would go through, but when I watched the performance, it wasn't very polished. The singing was okay. It was pitchy, but the dancing by the main singer was not of the same quality as Colleen or like from Austria or from Malta or from like Cyprus or any of those dancers and stuff. Still, it was good, and it was an interesting premise overall. But I think the song went through of its own merit because it is so vastly different from everything else. The dancing, I hope she can work on that before the final. But I am a little surprised that one went through over a couple of the others. So we'll get to that. Switzerland, we all knew Nemo was going to go through. There was some unsurety about the outfit. I thought the outfit was fine. I thought Nemo did fantastic. Amazing, amazing performance. There's a reason why Croatia and Switzerland are kind of like this, like neck and neck. It's still anybody's game. Honestly, I think that the top 4 right now are still between Croatia and Switzerland at the top, with Ukraine and Ireland not far behind. And I think after France's performance tonight, France is probably up there with Italy, biting at the heels for 5th and 6th places. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Excuse me. Czechia. I know Czechia wasn't on a lot of people's cards to go through. Wasn't really on mine either. But watching her performance, it was amazing. It kind of reminded me like little bits of Czechia and San Marino's performances remind me of Damiano's performance with Maneskin in 2021, interacting with the dancers and the band members and just putting on an overall great show. I'm not a big rock fan, but I do think those 2 songs probably canceled each other's out with people's votes. Like they're too similar. Of the 3 rock songs we had in this semifinal, because there was a lot of them, Norway was definitely the strongest one, absolutely by far. So Not a massive taste for rock this year by the public from the looks of it. But I do feel bad because I thought Czechia and San Marino, as much as they weren't my favorite songs, I felt that they deserved to go through. I really did. I would have put them through over Greece, and I would have put them through over Estonia, honestly. Austria, okay. I love We Will Rave. I love this song. As you guys know, it is my second choice after Poland, so I guess that bumps it up to number one of my favorite songs. But Colleen's vocals were not that strong. They were stronger than they have been, and her dancing was polished. Everything about the performance aspect was polished. So the vocals didn't necessarily have to be super, super perfect because, as we've seen before, it's not always about the vocals, which really it is a song contest in the end. So the song should stand alone on its own merit, not necessarily by the performance and everything else. And that's why we're going to get to Latvia in a few minutes as well, too. I'll talk about that one. But I am glad that Austria went through. I am surprised that Austria went through, but I'm pleasantly surprised that Austria went through. And I really hope Colleen can deliver an amazing vocal and show on Saturday. So thank goodness we have that. Denmark. Saba, of all of the performers this entire two semifinals, was the most nervous, the most noticeably nervous, and very quiet. And when you get nervous as a singer and you are starting off your song, you're very drawn in. And I knew exactly right when she started. I'm like, oh, she's so nervous. She's so nervous. And part of me thought she might break down and start crying and just not finish the song. But she made it work. The emotion was there. And I liked the song. I loved her performance when she got going, and the crowd was there chanting and like helping her along, which was awesome to see. And I felt that too, and I wanted her to. And she's, at the end, I think she was so full of mixed emotions. But I do see why Denmark didn't get chosen, and it is sad because that song was a really good one and could have done very, very well. Armenia, I was nervous when they were calling out the finalists because Armenia was dead last. And I'm like, come on, you can't tell me that Greece is going through, but Armenia might not be. Like, there could not be a world where that happened. And I was trying to steel myself for that because I'm like, I wonder if San Marino or Czechia is going to get it instead of Armenia when it got to that point. But I am glad Armenia went through. That song is a breath of fresh air. It's fun. It's ethnic. It's everything. The performance of that one, a lot of people kind of compare Greece and Armenia's songs this year. They have a similar vibe. I do think Armenia's was stronger performed, and definitely, absolutely needing to qualify. So I'm very glad that Armenia's in there. Latvia was another shock because most people had Latvia as a non-qualifier. Look, Don's voice was great, amazing. He got super emotional at the end. He followed Slimane a little bit later on. So Slimane's voice, obviously from France, super, super strong. So a lot of people wondered if that would affect Don's possibility to make it in. But as we saw on Tuesday, the fact that you had Chanel and Eleni performing before Cyprus even started, that didn't stop Cyprus from getting through with the dancing and stuff like that. So very happy for Latvia. And, they broke their non-qualification streak just like Ireland did. And now Georgia too. Ah, that's so nice. And I bet you anything that ESC Tom, who I watch all the time, and Alicia, and a bunch of the others are probably going to be super happy and just celebrating that these three countries with super long non-qualification streaks have finally broken them. I'm so excited about that. San Marino, like I said, I am sad that Megara didn't get in. Again, not my favorite type of song, but oh my God, the staging was immaculate. It was amazing. Like, I could have almost won the show in terms of staging for this, for me. I love the little, like, anime, but not anime, kind of more like Bratzy style stuff and the animations and stuff. It was fun. It was a great performance. But much like Achille in 2022, or was it last year? No, it was 2022 because San Marino sent like an animal last year. That's right. Um, I guess it was just too much. I don't know. People sleep on San Marino. I think that Adrenalina should have been their best rated song ever. Honestly, it was amazing. It was one of my favorites, but there's that personal bias of song choices in there. But San Marino, I'm very sad, didn't make it in. I'm very glad Georgia did. I knew that Georgia was going to make it, and I knew there was a world where we could have Georgia and Austria over Malta. That's kind of how I felt. And we got that. And Georgia, absolutely the strongest female bop singer song of this semifinal, and probably of all of the female bops that we have, like the pop centric ones. Anyway, amazing. Her vocals, like Chanel, like moving around and dancing, and the vocals never faltered. Absolutely immaculate performance. Who did not give immaculate performance though was Belgium. That was another shock non-qualifier, but people were kind of expecting maybe that to happen. Musti's vocals have been all over the place. He hit his choruses great. All the lower notes were great. For some reason, he couldn't deliver on the verses, and I felt bad for him. Like, you know, I'm sitting there listening to it, and I could tell he was off key, and I wonder if he could tell. I don't know. But at the time, I was just like, I don't think Belgium's coming through. At the time, I figured it was going to be either Denmark or Belgium that was going to get the last spot, but neither one got through, which was a bit of a shocker. Estonia, again, I know why people put it through. It's a televote only thing. I do think if the juries were involved, Estonia would not have been put through. The vocals are not there. It's a silly song. It's more about the performance aspect of it. People kind of like the meme ability of it, I suppose. But I'm sad that it took the place of something like Denmark or Belgium or San Marino or Czechia. Like San Marino and Czechia's staging was immaculate. Belgium's staging was really, really good too. Denmark, like all of them had great staging. I think I would have put any of those four ahead of Estonia, but that's myself. Israel, okay, most people figured Israel was going to go through. The song itself is very strong, and Eden is a very strong singer. I just felt that there was the possibility that, just like people felt with Ukraine getting sympathy votes in 2021, that it would be the opposite idea, where people would upvote other songs so that Israel didn't make it through just simply because of the politics that's going on. And what is interesting too is there's a lot of reports that live in the arena, it was mostly booing that was happening when Eden was on stage. But what we heard on the YouTube feed, at least, was cheering. I didn't hear any booing. So take that as you will. I don't know exactly what for sure. I wasn't there, but I'm sure some of the other commentators that were there will comment on it. Should be interesting. Norway was the rock winner of the night. Probably it's going to come down to Norway and Croatia. I do think that they could siphon votes from each other. Switzerland is such a different song that maybe that could be the edge that Switzerland needs, especially with the juries in there. But we'll see, because Switzerland's staging is kind of versus Croatia's staging. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at the grand final. Is the jury going to penalize Bambi or give Bambi like amazing points for creativity? Like Italy's was kind of boring. Italy's was also off tune a lot. Spain's was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And France was absolutely amazing. When he stood back and there was no music and just his vocals, that was I see why people like that. No, that's a consummate professional singer there. So he changed my mind there. Still don't think he's gonna win, but France has a really good shot at being the highest rated of the top 5 this year, or big 5. Norway absolutely hit it out of the park. Again, not one of my favorite songs. I still like Dum Diggy Da better, but again, personal bias. But for what it is, they did amazing. And Netherlands was not the performance I expected. It was so lackluster compared to what the video had, and compared to like the energy levels and the way he sang parts. It was almost like he was just drawn in. But I mean, we knew that Netherlands was going to go through. It's just definitely a televote magnet, and I'm glad he did. It's a fun song. Really interesting choice to choose the very last part where he's talking about his parents and stuff as the recap video part. That was interesting. I don't know if people have done that before, because usually you want to focus on the main like dancey part, or like the strongest part of the song, which I thought would have been a the slogger part. But anyway, I felt semifinal one was stronger. Like we just knew who was going to make it through, but with semifinal two, it was harder to figure out who was going to make it through. Anyways, let's take a quick look and see the finalists. Of course, the qualifiers were Armenia, Austria, Estonia, Georgia, Greece, Israel, Latvia, Netherlands, Norway, and Switzerland. Not announced in that order. This is from the Eurovision World website. I appreciate the graphics that they have. It's amazing, and that they let people use them. Thank you for that. It's nice to have these visuals in the commentaries and things like that. And not only that, but now the countries have done their choosing of their orders. And what's really interesting to me with this is that they. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to find my little icon thing here. Where is it? Where is it? Running. No, that's the semifinals running order. Where is it now? I don't see it here. Hold on a second here, guys. Hold on a second here. I'm just gonna keep talking while I'm looking for it. But yeah, this year they added a thing where there was a producer's choice to decide what part of the final the certain countries were going to be performing in. Now, all of the draws were done so that people could see them, but some people are still a little like, is that really like the case? Because something seemed a little bit off with. Okay, why can't I find this? Qualifiers, running order. Sorry, guys. But yeah, like some people are like, that kind of gives advantage to certain countries versus other ones because they can be given just the perfect running orders. Like Croatia, for example, is one that I think benefited from getting one of those. And which, we know that Croatia is a favorite to win. So it's very possible that they're going to put him in the second half of the show. Ireland got first half, but I do feel that they're going to put Ireland later, like kind of towards the end of the first half of the show, which would be good. I mean, it's one of those kind of polarizing songs, but it would be a really good middle one to put in there. I feel, anyways. Hold on a second here. Let me pull this up again here, and let me just grab this this little image for us. It's the final draw. Okay, that's what happened. It didn't save it. So now we're going to open this. And we're going to open this. Haha, that's not right either. My goodness. Qualifiers, Eurovision. I don't know why this doesn't want to download properly for me, you guys. Anyway, whatever. Some of the countries are... I'll just talk about it. I'll leave this other one on the screen here. But the running draw, we have the first half. Sweden's going first. Also in the first half is Germany, Greece, Ireland, Lithuania, Luxembourg, and United Kingdom. Second half is Austria, Cyprus, Finland, France, Norway, and Slovenia. Producer decides on Armenia, Croatia, Estonia, Georgia, Israel, Italy, Latvia, Netherlands, Portugal, Serbia, Spain, Switzerland, and Ukraine. Now, what this does is it allows them to kind of break up songs that might be, so you don't get 5 really slow songs together just by the luck of the draw. They're going to move stuff around. We know that Sweden is a fast-paced favorite. So I do think that they're going to put, well, it was a good idea for them to put that first. It's a great one to open up the show with, and it is what it is. Last, I wouldn't be surprised if they did put Croatia last, like the very last song to perform, or maybe towards the bottom part of it. I don't know. I really don't know what to think for sure. We're gonna have to just wait and see what they're deciding to do. There we go. Look at that. I got it. Finally. So yeah. I do think Ireland will go towards the bottom part of the first half. Now that the UK, France, Germany, Spain, and Switzerland, or sorry, UK, Germany, Spain, France, Italy, and Sweden are going to be judged on their performances as opposed to just doing performances, they can honestly go anywhere in the draw. They were kind of used to break up each little section in the semifinals, but now they can honestly go anywhere. Sweden's the host country this year. You can't really call them playing favorites on themselves because they're going first, and arguably first is not always the best one. Maybe they don't want to have a chance to host it next year, but I really personally don't think that Unforgettable is. I mean, it's kind of a forgettable song out of a bunch of the other ones. If it just is what it is. Anyways, we are here. We're at this point. The grand final is taking place on Saturday. And if I was to put, based on the performances that we've seen, if I was to choose a top 10, I would say it will be Croatia or Switzerland for the win. I do think that we are going to see Ireland in the top 5. I also feel that United Kingdom, depending on Ollie's vocals, could be a top 10 finish based on the staging, but Ukraine will be in there. I think that France is going to be in the top 10. Norway will probably be in the top 10. We know Croatia. I think I said that already. I would not be shocked if Georgia was in the top 10. Netherlands. But Netherlands could be another situation of what happened with Austria last year with Who the Hell is Edgar? Super, super, super pumped up, but not as great deliveries. We'll have to see. I still think it's got a good chance. Switzerland, we know. Spain. I think Spain could be top 10. And I don't think Armenia. I'm gonna say Armenia. I think Armenia's got that, or Lithuania, probably one of those two. So that's kind of the top 10s there. Little all over the place. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This year, it's not cut and dry like it was last year. We knew that it was going to be Loreen or Karia, and it ended up being Loreen, which I'm happy with. I'm happy that it was Sweden. I'm happy Karia came back this year and performed a bit of cha-cha-cha. And we'll see what surprise guests they have at the final, because they were alluding to some. We know Loreen's going to be there. ABBA might make an appearance despite saying they didn't want to, but anyway. Okay. Well, what do you guys think of what happened on the second semifinal? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know down below. I'd love to chat with you guys. And we'll see you next time in the next Eurovision video. Thank you for watching. And I have a radio show called The Vision of Eurovision every Friday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific time in Canada on CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops. You can also stream it at thex.ca or via the TuneIn and Stream apps. Just look up CFBX Kamloops. I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.